My friend very recently asked me, is 1,000 of Cardano's native token called ADA good enough? Now, even though I can't actually answer that question on anyone's behalf, and even though I can only give my perspective and my thoughts on it, and also even though nothing I say is financial advice, here's the way to take a look at it. Let's say just in a make-believe scenario, if Cardano's native token called ADA went to the price of $10, now at that point, if I was hypothetically holding 1,000 ADA, now that 1,000 ADA becomes 10 grand, right? Because 1,000 times 10, again, 10,000. Now, again, I'm not saying that will happen, but in an event where maybe hypothetically in this scenario that was the case, let's say from this 10,000, I saved 50% of that, so then that's 5,000, right? And for whatever reason, in another make-believe scenario, I put this 5,000 for the next cycle, and then it does a 10x, so maybe hypothetically becomes 50 grand. Now again, some of my friends out there, they may be thinking, okay, why'd you care about that? However, in reality, a lot of people that I know out there, they don't have that much in their savings, let alone their portfolio. Now, I think it's because, expenses and, again, just a lot of stuff like that, which makes it not really that easy. But then, again, I don't think it's hypothetically something that I find disappointing, especially considering if, let's say, ADA wasn't the only thing that was in my portfolio. Let's say I had other projects too. Would $10 when it comes to ADA necessarily surprise me? Well, I'm going to explore that scenario because $10 is around an 11x from here, and the market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, would be nearly 360 billion. So, that market cap right there is still around like $200 billion less than Ethereum's current market cap, but this is just my point of view, and I actually like Cardano as a layer 1 blockchain. I'm a fan of the gas fees because I don't think it's too ridiculous. I also like the scalability when it comes to Cardano. I also like, as well, the speed. When it comes to Cardano as a layer 1 blockchain, granted, there's many layer 1 blockchains out there, but for instance, is there only one brand of, watches, right? No, I don't think so. I mean, for instance, I'm using this G-Shock, or should I say, Casio, but again, G-Shock. It's not like it's the only thing out there. I mean, there is a bunch of watch brands out there, but again, I'm just saying, like, for instance, if I were to put an analogy on it, it's not just one layer 1 blockchain and then the rest don't really do anything. Like, it's not only just Ethereum. Like, I mean, again, Ethereum is very popular. It's done very well, historically speaking. But again, there's still some competitors out there. I mean, there's Solana, there's Avalanche, there's Algorand. Of course, BNB has a massive market cap right now. So again, it's not just like one layer 1 blockchain. However, to me as well, a lot of the main argument that I saw a lot of people, kind of talk to me about when it comes to Cardano in the past was that, why would developers choose that? It's not massive enough as a layer 1 blockchain. Well, again, if we take a look at just its native token called ADA, it's like top 15 currently. It's not like it's a small layer 1 blockchain when it comes to Cardano. Maybe it's not as popular as Ethereum, but if we compare even Solana, it's like not even that popular when compared to Ethereum, right? Like if I asked a lot of my friends out there, yeah, sure, they know Ethereum, but many may not necessarily know something like Solana, for instance. So again, just the discrepancy from Ethereum to like the number 2 is really like kind of massive already. So then again, in the grand scheme of things, is Cardano as popular as Ethereum? No. But then is it pretty popular as a layer 1 blockchain? Yeah. In the kind of space that it is in. So I don't think that argument where it's like, it's not popular enough. I think maybe back then it could be argued that way, but I think right now, again, Cardano's native token called ADA is pretty massive in terms of market cap. So I think it's a little bit different currently. However, even besides that as well, again, if I take a look at around 11x from here when it comes to ADA at the price of $10, some of my friends out there, they may be thinking like, okay, why would you care about that? Well, the reason why I would care about it is because hypothetically, if Bitcoin went to 300 grand, that's less than a 3x from here. If Ethereum went to 10 grand, that's also less than a 3x from here. And also, I like how the co-founder of Ethereum is actually the founder of Cardano. I'm talking about Charles Hoskinson. So I just like Cardano overall, but then ultimately, right, there's only one thing I can do, and that is literally just stay patient, because oftentimes people like to ask me, when is the altcoin season going to start and all this type of stuff? Like, sure, I could take a look back in history and take a look at some clues. Like, for instance, altcoins typically, as a worst-case scenario, they usually peak a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. And again, that's as a hypothetically worst-case scenario. last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year, so 18 months on top of that, or should I say year and a half, is around October this year. Even though I can take a look at that, it doesn't mean it's going to be that exact same way this time around. Like, it could be longer, right? I mean, who knows? It may even extend hypothetically until near the end of Q1 of 2026. I have no control over that. So there's only one thing I can do, in my perspective, and that is just stay patient, hold, and I just wait. I mean, that's literally about it. Now, I'm not telling you to do anything when it comes to ADA, but this is just the way I take a look at it. This is just what I'm doing with the projects that I am a fan of, and that's pretty much it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.